was born in Brevik in Norway. That was in 1926, in January 20th. I was born at home with a midwife. My dad was Gustav Raaum, and my mother was Ingeborg Christensen. I have an older brother. His name is Severin Frederick Raaum. We call him Dick. It's a wonderful life. And Dad, he got a job at Lillehammer, so he moved family to Lillehammer. I think I was about 12 or 13 at that time. I played soccer. I took part in speed skating in the wintertime. But pretty soon I started to concentrate on ski jumping. I enjoyed that the most. So I happened to compete heavily for the Lillehammer Ski Club. I did well in the valley in different competitions, and then I was picked out of hundreds of jumpers. The 4 of us were picked from our region to compete in at that time, the World Series of ski jumping in Oslo, Norway, at the famous Holmenkollen ski jump. That was the first competition held after the war. There had over 100,000 spectators, and I was lucky enough to win. Can you imagine winning a no-hitter at the World Series as a pitcher? That's where I was. And that in turn helped me to get to America, because the Norwegian Ski Association was invited by the United States Ski Association to send a team to the United States. For me, I have always dreamt about coming to America. So here was the thing handed to me on a platter. And I ended up at university, and I took a lot of accounting because numbers was easy for me to understand. So I ended up majoring in accounting and later became a CPA. I became an All-American. I won the NCAA championships in the United States several times as a ski jumper. Went into the Husky Hall of Fame. I'm in the U.S. National Ski Hall of Fame. I thought she was real cute, and she was bubbly, and she was a good dancer. She was an outdoor girl, you know, active in swimming, and she even, you know, skiing, and so she's the kind of girl you marry, was my thought.
And he popped the question at Sun Valley, out near the lodge, or the inn, I guess, and got me my ring in Tacoma.
We went together to buy it.
Yeah, we did.
To Gunderson's Jewelry in Tacoma.
Which is no longer there, but...
And it emptied my whole savings account. But she was worth it.
Dearly beloved, we are assembled here in the presence of God.
We were married August 25th, 1950, at the First Lutheran Church in Tacoma. It was the day of my life. It was a gorgeous 90 degrees. It was a very hot day in August. And the reception was at the tennis club, which is down near Annie Wright Seminary.
I, Gustav, take thee, Claire.
I, Gustav, take thee, Claire.
We had a record burned. We had first, the whole ceremony was on a machine, and that was transferred over to a regular record. And so we sent the record together with part of the cake and all the pictures from the wedding over to my home, my parents' home at Lillehammer. And they had another reception using that, inviting their friends to the so-called the follow-up wedding.
And my father was not happy about it.
Here's a guy that could hardly speak English and had no job and was being deported back to Norway from the United States. I was like an illegal immigrant at the time.
It was.
My first job was for Johnny Appleseed Orchards, and it was at Malat, which is close to Okanagan and Omak. And when Claire and I arrived there, we got married. I had $25 in the bank. That was our total assets.
Yeah, we had the old company car that had, what, about 300?
175,000 miles on it. We had to stop and fill oil between gas stops.
Our son David, first son, David Lindsay, was born on June 8th, 1952.
When Claire said it's time, I drove her into the hospital and checked in. And in the meantime, we had been paying so much a month for 9 months to pay for the bill, which was a nice way to do it, because to get one of those things at one time, the cost was just prohibitive.
21 months after David was born, our son Christian Eric was born, also at Maynard Hospital, weighing in at the grand total of 9 pounds 13 ounces.
The doctor said, "Get lost, we'll call you." So I went to the office, and he said, "We'll call you in the office when your child is born." And so that's what happened.
6 years to the day, March 11th, 1960, Luann was born. So she and Chris are twins, 6 years apart. By then we had moved to a house in Blue Ridge, a small little colonial house. It was just a gem of a house. We went from Seattle to Wyoming first, and that was in 1967. We moved there. Gus got a job at the Jackson Hole Ski Corporation.